of everything.
As opposed to your philosophy, is rooted in historical events.
Wow.
So you actually believe a man rose from the dead?
You know I do.
Prove that situation.
Can I ask a
question about the Messiah?
Anyway,
Prove that situation.
Please,
I'll
Bob.
leave that with you. You look after yourself.
All right, look
Can I ask
after
you one question
yourself.
about the Messiah? You know, he said he was coming back, yeah?
And there you have it, family.
Yes.
There you have
Did he
it.
come
I'm
back?
gone. Peace, family, peace.
You know, when the Messiah said he was coming, he told his disciples, you will see death
Hey!
until I return.
That's going to be no, this passage has been debated numerous times. And what it's talking about is that it's what we call a prophecy that has two layers to it. Some that is fulfilled within the lifetime of the apostles, and some that is fulfilled later. And that whole passage is talking about that.
So, but when he said, you will not see death until I return,
It doesn't say that.
that's it.
I think the verse that you're quoting is people believe that was what was said.
Are you sure?
Do you have the passage that we can go to?
No. Over my
There's
head.
one of two passages it could be.
Right.
It's either going to be Matthew, I think 24, or Luke 24 maybe, where Christ talks about the signs of the end times and his return. Or it could be talking about a passage, I think, in John, where Christ was talking to one of the disciples, and then it says that other people believed that Christ had said this person wouldn't die before these things were accomplished. It's probably one of those two passages. Which one of those sounds more like the one you were thinking of?
I was thinking, the one when he was speaking to the disciples, only one, when he was speaking to the disciples,
Yeah.
he's saying,
So it's the first one.
yeah, where they're saying that you will not see death until I return. Like saying when he gets killed, that's actually his reason. I think that's actually his reason.
Right.
He's saying you will not see death until I return.
Right. The disciples will not see that.
Yeah.
They're going to live. Okay.
I've had this one with Sarah Garvey before.
Is that what?
I've had this one with Sarah Garvey before.
I wanted to know where the metaphysics and the pi was in the Bible.
You can answer.
Sorry? I wanted to know where the metaphysics and the pi that you were talking about and the mathematics, because they were not dealing with the same mathematics at that time. They were doing the X's and V's and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Until you bucked up with the Muslims, you know what I'm saying? And they gave you algebra.
No, you got that wrong.
Then you started to get some proper math.
was the
Unless you're
Indian.
claiming Archimedes.
It was the Hindu. It was the Hindus.
Are you claiming Archimedes? No, Archimedes was a mathematician.
Algebra.
No, but
No, it isn't.
Archimedes was a mathematician, so you could say Archimedes.
Mathematics.
But you're going to end up in Greece.
Mathematics is a universal reality.
No, mathematics.
It isn't the possession
Yeah,
of one
it
group.
is.
No, that's just a myth.
It is.
That's just a myth.
Build a pyramid.
It's just a myth.
Build a pyramid then.
How did they build a pyramid
How
without
do you
maths?
build? Thank you.
Right.
You
And
need maths
were the
to build a
pyramids?
pyramid, yeah?
Were the pyramids built before the Arabs?
Yes.
There you go.
Before all of you.
Exactly.
So
you just proven my point.
Who has the exclusivity on mathematics then?
No one does. It's a
What?
universal reality.
Not the master builders.
Anyone could discover it.
The master builders.
People were building all over the
There've
world.
been no master builders since.
No,
you know what I'm
everyone
saying?
can build all over the world.
Build a pyramid.
The old-
Stop being
that is-
disingenuous. You can build a church, and you can build a thing, and you can build a cathedral, but a cathedral is only a mosque transformed. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You weren't building buildings.
The cathedrals
before a
came
certain
before
point.
the mosques.
What?
Cathedrals came before the mosques.
Mosques came before cathedrals.
You don't know your history.
And mosques are converted. Yeah, I mean,
don't know your history.
cathedrals are converted mosques.
When was Hagia Sophia built?
Oh, come on. What in Spain?
In Constantinople. When was Hagia Sophia built?
That was like first century.
No.
Bro, it doesn't even matter.
No, it does.
Because the reality.
Because I'm just about to
Does it
prove
matter?
to you. I'm just about to prove to you.
Because the whole of Spain, remember,
Cathedrals were
was
built
Islamic,
before mosques.
right? And then until Queen Isabella came with her Christianness,
you don't
know
know your history, Michael.
What are you talking about?
You don't know your history.
What are you talking about? Do you know the history of Spain?
Hagia Sophia wasn't built in Spain. It was
I'm
built in
just saying-
Constantinople.
Do you know the history of Spain? Because we're talking about mathematics.
I know
and
history
we're talking
better than
about
you.
building. You don't.
1 second.
You don't even know mathematics.
When was
yet.
Hagia Sophia built?
You get me? You don't know mathematics. You're saying, where did you get the mathematics from the Indians? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Yes?
Let's just find the date.
But the Greeks existed before them, innit? The Greeks existed before.
Matthew
I mean,
16:28.
but the
Right.
Greeks.
Hold on 1 second. So Michael made a claim that the mosques were built before the churches. before the cathedrals.
Right.
Okay? Hagia Sophia.
Not before.
Hagia Sophia is a cathedral. Hagia Sophia was built in 537 AD. When was the first mosque built?
Right. Thousands of years ago, they were building
The
mosque
first
and masjid.
mosque
Go on.
was built in Medina in the 7th century. This cathedral was built before the first mosque. You just don't know your history,
No,
Michael.
no.
I'm sorry.
So you're telling me all the cathedrals?
I haven't
which
just told you,
you,
I've proven it.
All right.
I've proven it.
Prove what a cathedral is. If it's not a converted mosque.
That is even easier.
Go on then.
A cathedral, that is even easier.
No, I have a dispute.
Bro.
The Dome of the Rock,
Right.
which is now
Al Aqsa.
mosque,
Right.
was also a Jewish temple. What
Right.
came first? That or the Catholic Church?
The Jewish temple is not a mosque.
It is now, because I just explained to you, the
Yeah.
Dome of the Rock, which is a mosque now.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
When was it made a mosque?
It doesn't matter. It's
Yes, it does. Because
no,
the
no,
argument is which
Well,
came
what's the
first,
transition?
cathedrals or
He's
mosques?
explaining the
a
transition.
mosque and the Catholic Church are the same thing. They're used for the same thing.
Purpose.
No.
They are used for the same purpose,
really
which is
not.
to send
House
your
of prayer.
spiritual energy
No.
from here
No.
upwards. That's why you have spires and domes. Yes, it is.
The
Do your
dome,
research.
the dome.
And that's why
no,
Muslims
I would
first
invite you.
pray towards
I
Jerusalem.
would invite you
You know
all
what I'm
to
saying?
do your research.
No, you do your research.
Because let me just correct you.
You're talking about stiff
The
before you
Dome
even
of the
existed
Rock
as a people.
Mosque was built in the 7th century. That's when it was built. The cathedral of Hagia Sophia was built in the 6th century, 100 years before. Now he asked me, what is a cathedral? Let me answer that question, Michael.
Go on.
Yeah? A cathedral is a church designated as the church of a bishop. And it is designated as such because it has the bishop's seat called a cathedra. So it tends to be a large church, a metropolitan church, because that hosts the most number of people. The Christian cathedrals predate the mosques. Christians were using mathematics before Islam. You have been fed a lie.
No way.
You've been
You get me?
fed a lie.
Now, let me explain that. Let me explain that. Right?
Which Christians?
What?
Which Christians are the ones you were saying that were dealing with mathematics?
Oh, my knowledge of the history of mathematics isn't sufficient to answer
Ah.
that.
So your
As I
information
say,
is insufficient.
my knowledge of the history of
Yes,
maths
yes.
is not sufficient
That's right.
to answer
That's why
that
you're making
question.
those
No, but the reason why I asked
But let me just one
statements.
second. Let me 1 second. Pagans were using maths. Why is Pythagoras
Who's pagan?
called Pythagoras? It's called Pythagoras because a Greek pagan, centuries before Muhammad, was using maths and came up with the theory of Pythagoras.
Well, we said Archimedes already.
You said because you said Christians were using mathematics.
Wasn't a Muslim.
before Muslims.
Yeah, he was a Greek.
You
Yeah,
said
they were.
Christian.
Of course
So
they were.
which Christian can you give that was using it before Muslims?
Any Christian that ever built any building.
Who? Like, how do you know it was a Christian?
But they came last minute. That doesn't
How do you know
understand.
it was a Mason?
So who built Hagia Sophia?
We're actually
How do you know it was a
Masonic. You have to be
Yes,
Masonic.
because Christians, would you agree with me, that
then
Christians are the people most likely
Islamic
inclined to build
Masonic
a
are called
church?
Shriners. You know what I'm saying? Because they build shrines, they build mosques,
No,
they build
I'm asking you,
masjids,
do
they
you
build
agree
Kaabas.
that the people
wrong
most
with this
likely
guy?
to build a church would be Christians?
You never existed, bro.
Guys,
Why are you being disingenuous? You never existed, bro.
this
You know what I'm
hubris
saying?
and
You
this
came last
pride
minute. No,
is
it's
the
not
very
about pride.
thing that's holding your community back. It's the very thing that's holding your community back. Hubris and pride. You're arguing against facts, guys. You're arguing against facts and you're doing it for emotional reasons.
Oh, you're about to get that what?
You're trying to draw out the emotional response by mentioning that type of thing. And it shows your lack of
You're gonna get that work
knowledge
today, bro.
to say that is our community's problem.
That is what is holding you back.
So what's your problem?
Bro,
What's your problem?
when four men,
No, what's your
one
problem?
second, when four grown men,
Are you perfect?
when four grown
you
men,
perfect?
no, of course not.
Let's listen
So
to
then
it.
how can
My
you,
own
how
community's
dare
got
you
problems.
turn round and say that is our community's
Shall I
problem?
tell you what my community
When
is?
you turn
Cowardice.
round,
Christian are murderers, you know.
Cowardice.
Under the symbol of the cross, a lot of people died, you know.
Cowardice.
Christian community.
Hold on, sorry, one
What
second.
community?
Your
Yeah, what
community's
community?
problem
What
is
community?
not cowardice. It is you are serpentine. You are act like you are friendly when really every nation before your nation existed says that you speak with a forked tongue.
Right, sure.
How dare you?
This kind of
How
ignorance.
dare you?
Come on.
This kind
No,
of
that's
ignorance.
history.
No.
That's history.
That's history.
Yes,
It's
you,
all right.
the
Yeah,
gang
right.
group here at the corner.
What gang group?
Gang group.
Are you in gang?
Brother, I don't
Are you in
know
gang?
these guys.
Am I misrepresenting you? Are you part of gang?
No.
Are you part of gang?
You said community. That's an
Yeah, that's a
organization.
community.
That's an organization.
It's also a community.
No, it's an organization.
I've
Gang
literally
is an
had
organization. This guy's dumb.
grown men argue
No gang.
against
Hold on,
facts.
No gang
Because
paraphernalia.
those facts
It's my day off.
contradict a preposition.
It's my day off.
Michael,
I
you know I
come to
love you,
debate.
bro. You know I love you.
Look.
The King's Peace Street.
Street, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
Bro,
go with that.
like now.
You know I love you.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're using that.
I
You're
know
arguing-
community has a problem.
Yes,
Guys,
gang.
it's a
Gang.
None of us
What is
here
gang?
are a part of gang.
He's part of
That's
gang.
an organization.
What is gang?
still.
What is gang?
That man's
As
attached
I
to it.
understand
It's an
it,
organization.
it's an organisation
Yeah, not community.
that is seeking to guide the next generation.
Right. So you said
within
community,
the
though.
black community.
So what are you going to do with this corner?
Right.
So you
No,
are
in the
painting all of us
community,
with the same
not
brush.
black
I know
community.
these brothers from
How are you
Adam.
going to say black community?
Yet you're saying
When
no,
there's no
I'm
community.
apologise to you. I made an assumption. I thought you were
Yeah,
part
well,
of
you know
gang.
what they say about assumptions, right?
Yeah,
Then
he's
I've
the
been
mother of all
corrected and I've
fucker.
apologised.
Well, you're making an ass out of you.
Yeah?
Matthew
But
16.
when people are arguing against facts like you have,
Okay.
when you're saying, historically, that mosques were built before cathedrals, when the evidence contradicts you
In one place.
100%.
in many places, I can show you other
You
cathedrals.
avoided Spain. You avoided Spain like the plague.
Bro, there were cathedrals in
Huh?
Spain
I gave you an
before
explanation.
Islam.
No! How? If there's no Christians, hold on. If there's no Christians in the land, one second. No,
I showed you the evidence.
We're dealing with Spain now.
Didn't
Let's
want
deal
to
with Spain.
accept it.
Let's deal with Islamic
I
Spain.
didn't want to deal with it.
One second.
Right, Michael.
Yeah.
Michael.
One second.
Michael.
So now we're in Spain, right?
Michael.
Now we're in Spain.
It's pride.
Cool, no problem.
It's pride.
Oh, bro.
You're proud.
Constantine.
You can't go with the facts because you're proud.
Roman. We don't mind. Cool, no problem. Yeah?
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, we're talking about Spain now. Let's go Spain. Was Spain
Let's go to Spain.
Christian before it was Islamic? Let's
Let's
go.
go to Spain.
Yeah?
Fact check.
Spain. Come on. It's Christian.
Earliest
I mean-
cathedral in Spain.
I speak for you.
Let's fact check.
Come on.
1 second, bro.
I know what I'm
just want
talking
to deal
about.
with this point.
I want him to deal with this, yeah?
I'll do one better than Spain. The oldest cathedral in the world, yeah, was built, is the Dura Eurofos Church in Syria, the oldest surviving church building in the world, while Jordan's Aqaba Church is considered to be the world's first purpose-built church.
Cool.
Okay?
What's the point?
This predates Islam.
You said Spain. We're talking
Okay,
about
yeah,
Spain.
we'll come to Spain.
Why are you
We'll come
running?
to Spain. We'll come to Spain. We'll come to Spain.
It's fine.
Michael,
I said
you know I don't run.
Constantinople,
You know I don't run.
all of these other places. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, we can see this is historic facts, bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
That Queen Isabella, on entering Spain, do you know what I'm saying? With her cohorts or whatever, she was a Christian. You understand? So this is an Islamic country.
No,
you
it
understand?
isn't.
Because of the Moors.
Oh,
the Moors
dear.
are there. The Carthaginians
Oh,
are there.
dear.
Bruv. The Moors are there. The Carthaginians are there.
dear.
You don't know their faith. So, my point
Oh,
is,
dear.
I think Maku needs a history lesson, Bob.
if you
I
didn't
think Michael
convert,
does need a
if you
history
didn't
lesson.
convert to Christianity, right? So they went underground. You understand? Or retreated to northern Africa. Now we've got Moroccans and blah blah blah, Algerians that are of pale complexion who were originally Spanish. You know what I'm saying? We know about the Visigoths, who lived in northern Spain. They had churches. You understand? But in southern Spain
Google
and
is an
middle
amazing
Spain
thing.
and the
I literally
majority
put the
where the
oldest cathedral in
Carthaginians
Spain,
owned,
and it gives
they
me
were
every other
mosques.
category except
And
the
those
oldest
mosques were
cathedral.
converted into cathedrals. This is why some cathedrals have domes on
Okay.
them.
Right? Didn't I say that originally?
Are you finished
Didn't I
with
say
Michael?
that originally? I
Michael,
demonstrated the purpose of
have
it.
you finished?
Yeah? Come on, man.
Michael,
Come on.
Am I all right now to correct your
Come
history?
on. You can't correct me.
All right.
Correct me.
Let me
His
correct
story
you.
is your story. My story is a mystery.
Let me
You know what I'm saying?
nice catchphrase.
Yeah,
Let me correct
it's
your
facts,
history.
though.
The fact of the matter is, there was a Christian Visigoth kingdom that was invaded by the Moors.
Right.
If you are invading someone else's kingdom, that means they were there first. Which means that Spain was a Christian country before an Islamic one.
Now,
that is a fact of history, my friend.
One second.
What, sorry?
The Cathedral of Santiago, which is the most important cathedral of Spain, in the north of Spain, was built in 808 before any Muslims got to Spain. This is where the Apostle James is buried.
Well, brother, I have to correct your history. It's actually what your conclusion on that particular issue is wrong.
Right. Anyway, so these Visigoths. Hold on one second.
The Muslims had invaded before that date.
Bro.
Funny. Whenever. Sorry.
These Visigoths that you mentioned, right?
Were they Christian?
Oh no. These Visigoths that you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Who were Germans or Visigoths, German Gothic. Anyway, don't worry.
Yeah.
They built their own, gargoyles and that. They were quite architectural. Cool. We can see their works.
Were they there before the Moors?
But no.
They weren't.
The whole point.
They weren't.
They migrated there. You know what I'm saying?
They were there
because they have
before
Celtic
the
blood.
Moors.
Bro, they have blood. They have their DNA. So
Yeah.
we can see that some of them are Celts. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of them are Gauls.
They were there before
which are
the Moors.
French. Yeah. And some of these people never even existed when the Moors existed.
Did the
So
Moors,
don't even go
did
there,
the
bro.
Moors invade
Don't
Spain?
even go there, bro.
Did the Moors
Invade Spain? No, they didn't.
You don't know your history. Honestly,
How did the Moors invade Spain, or did they build Spain?
the Moors invaded?
Madrid.
The Moors
Madrid.
invaded.
Listen to the words.
The
Madrid. Yeah.
The Moors
So
invaded
it means
a Visigoth Christian kingdom.
no. It's
That
no.
is what they invaded.
It's in
just
Galicia.
reading what
Let me
they
tell you,
invaded.
you don't know Spain. Let me tell you,
I really
Galicia is on the coast, on the top of Spain. A small place, a mountainous place,
Michael,
right? A mountainous
you
place.
need- you
He's
need
saying
to
that
read
this
history, bro.
small batch of people,
You need to read history.
Visigoths, who landed and settled there, controlled the whole region. Why
All right.
did they not spread their power across? Why did they not spread their power and their influence across Spain?
They did. The
Because
Visigoths were
no,
all
they
over
didn't.
Spain.
Because it was controlled by other people.
Bro, you just don't know your history.
I do. It was controlled
I
by
wanna-
the Moors.
I wanna
So,
give you-
You can't
Michael.
come with your Christian thing and
Michael.
then say, oh,
Michael.
You know what I'm saying? You
all
just
right,
settled there.
Guys, I'm going to give
not
you
the
all
Moors.
a reference point that you can go away and do more research.
We can.
All right?
We can.
There is a YouTube channel that is run by a real
But
historian.
one's bigger. One's
called
bigger. One's coming from the
Real
south.
Crusade History.
Understand?
And he
One's coming
does
from the south
an
earlier.
entire
Yeah.
series.
But
He
it's not
does
an
an
invasion.
entire series about Spain,
You have to go to, like,
the Islamic
Granada and
invasion
those
of
places when
Spain,
they settled
and the
from
Christian liberation of
You know what
Spain.
I'm saying?
And I would
Christian
invite
liberation
you to
or
watch it.
invasion?
Anyway, Michael, you look at
Christian liberation or invasion of Spain?
Liberation of Spain.
Yeah?
Liberation of Spain.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Liberation of Spain.
And how many times did they do it? Did they win the first
They
time?
did it once over 700
know,
years.
Once.
They did it once
Twice,
over
actually.
700
Twice.
years.
And only the second time were
Honestly,
they
Michael,
successful.
you just don't know
Your
your
history's
history.
jaded.
You don't know your history.
Your history's the Bible, remember?
Anyway.
That's not even factual.
No, my
or
history
anything.
is more than the Bible.
Really? Based on what?
No, because I'm going to go now. Have a lovely day. Next week, yeah.
Come back and
Yes,
get that
we will.
work. You're going to come back and get that work.
Nice to
FTK in the house.
It's alright.
Come on. Big up DJ Riza, you know what it is. Content over everything. Get me? Man's gonna get FTK. Get me? Fairy tale killers, blood. We're fairy tale Bob. Get me? We're fairy tale Bob.
My question, for Bob was, so people don't think I'm running. In Matthew 16:28, Jesus says, "Verily I say unto you, some of you will not taste death until you see me come back with my kingdom." So was he lying? That is a question. Or they should be alive.
FTK.
Yeah.
Content over everything. From now to Melanie.
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
The earth, yeah, is the earth, right? In people's culture, all people's culture, yeah, when they become spiritual within their culture, they place a sacred value on different things. Most often, land. Yes, land